basics of using your Squarespace website. All right, cookies. What are they? So cookies are small files of information that websites store on your device. So cookies help the website remember things about visitors, like their preferences, and the information they collect helps the website understand how visitors are using the site. So cookies on your website help you understand more about your site traffic so you can create the best experience possible for your visitors. Now, since you're collecting data about people, it would be pretty nice and courteous to let people know what you're doing. And actually, in some countries, it's legally required. Hashtag GDPR. And that is where cookie banners come in. So just a quick aside about the GDPR, if you are in Europe or the European Union, you will definitely want to enable a cookie banner on your site. Now, I am personally based out of the US, so I don't legally have to do this, but I also know I can't control where my site traffic comes from. So I go ahead and enable a cookie banner just in case, so I'm legally compliant everywhere. Okay. So to do this, we're going to log into your Squarespace website and then come down here and go to settings and then make sure you're on this website tab and then go to cookies and data privacy. Now, one thing I do want to note about Squarespace is they often like to move things around in their different menus. And so by the time you're watching this video, that might not be the exact process of where to get to your cookie settings. So in case it has changed, hit the / key on your keyboard and it will bring up this little search menu. So you can just type in cookies. And no matter where Squarespace has moved it to, you'll always be able to find what you're looking for. So just know that for anything that you're looking for on your Squarespace website. Okay, so now that we are here, you're going to want to toggle on your cookie banner, and then this little preview window will show up. So any of the changes that we're about to make down below, this is where you can look and see how it looks, right? Okay, so you can click this first one, which is customize the banner style. And it wants you to save before you do that. So say save because we made this change. I forgot. All right, and now here is where you can pick a theme for your cookie banner. So the color themes are going to be the same colors as you've picked for the rest of your website. So it's going to come up with your like standard color palette here, right? So you can go through and see how you want to change each of those things. So then you can see down here where your cookie banner is, how it will look when you change the different colors for each of those. So go through and pick one. You want to pick one that will stand out on every page of your site. So we will also go through more options on how to customize like the placement and stuff of this. So just know this is where you would do that. I'm gonna pick this one for now. And then when you're done, you will always want to say save. All right, so let's go back into that cookie menu. So here are the rest of the options for customizing your cookie banner. So the banner text, this is the button which currently says accept all, but you can come in here and choose to edit that label. You can't actually toggle this off. You see there's no toggle to turn on or off this accept button. So that is a default that you can't change, but what you can change are the manage cookies button. So you'll see this pop up right here, manage cookies or decline all. So you can also choose to toggle that on, in which case your banner would look like this. It would have 3 buttons instead of 2 or 1. So a quick note about managing cookies. This is personally, I think this is nice to do for your visitors because if they choose to click on the manage cookies, then they are taken to a page where they can customize which cookies they want to allow or not allow when they visit your site. Now, the decline all button will allow your visitors to decline all non-essential cookies. So things that they don't want their information to be collected about, they can choose to toggle that on or off. Personally, I think it is good practice to include all three of these in your cookie banner. But again, the manage cookies and decline all, those you can toggle off, so it is up to you. And then of course you can also change the text within those buttons as well. If you want it to say different things, that's where you would type that in there. Now this disclaimer text, which shows up over here, is something, Squarespace gives you this default text right here, but honestly it's kind of vague. But what you can do if you don't want to completely rewrite what Squarespace has written is you can choose to insert a link, in which case you would highlight wherever you want the link to go, click link, and then put it here. If you want to do that, I would suggest linking to your privacy policy, which is probably like in your footer or linked somewhere else in your website. But that is what I would suggest. I would also suggest just rewording this to sound maybe more fun, maybe in your website's vibe or personality. But at the very least, you can link to your privacy policy. And of course, when you're done making all of your changes, you will want to say save. Now, a few more things down here. You can change the layout and the label. Okay, so you've got subfooter, which is the one that we saw earlier. It was like in that very bottom portion of the screen. Then we've got pill and then hidden. Now, if you've chosen to enable the manage cookies or decline all button, then you won't want to have it hidden. You will want to choose one of these options. I'm going to choose that one and then say save. So now your cookie banner is toggled on, and now we can see it show up here. Now, if you go through your different pages on your website and you see how your cookie banner shows up and you're like, oh, I don't like that too much, I want to style it differently, what you can do is come over here to the site styles, this little paintbrush button over here, and then go down to miscellaneous and choose cookie banner. And then this is that customization menu that we were at before. So again, you can run through the different colors and see how that changes. Pick one that you like that. And then the position, this is where you can play around with where you want the cookie banner to show up. So if you choose bottom left, it's going to be this little box instead of a banner all the way across the screen, if that makes sense. So you can choose bottom right, top left, etc., etc. You get the picture. If you want it to be all the way across the top, something like that. I do want that to be like this. And then you can play around with the disclaimer text size. So if maybe you like this shape and placement of this, but maybe it doesn't stand out enough, you can increase the size to huge if you really want to make it really stand out. And you can make it tinier. That's super hard to read. I don't recommend that. But play around with the slider and see what stands out best for you and however you have worded this. Now, these buttons here on the actual cookie banner, they are connected to your existing button styles that you've already set for your website. So the accept button is connected to your primary button style, the decline button is connected to the secondary button style, and the manage button is connected to your tertiary button style. Now, if you wanted to customize how these buttons look, you would come back into this site styles portion and then come down to buttons and then customize. So here is your primary, secondary, and tertiary buttons. This is where you can change the styles and the looks of each of those. But what you want to take note of is that it's not going to only change these buttons, it's going to change the buttons all across your site. So every primary button will be changed, every secondary button will be changed, etc., etc. So just keep that in mind when you are playing around with these styles. It doesn't only affect this, it also affects all the buttons everywhere. Okay, so go update your website and let me know in the comments what other things you're interested in learning about Squarespace. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.